Yo, welcome back everybody. So in today's video, I'm gonna be going over the best guns in Warzone Season 4 right now. The best for long range, the best ARs, the best primary that you guys should be running now. Getting straight into the bat, yeah, boys know the first gun. It is the FAR 83. I know the FAR boss is the best gun right now, though. You know what I mean? It has super low recoil, great damage profile, great fire rate, really good fire rate, and amazing range. You know, the best thing about this weapon is that it's super low recoil, super easy to use. Anybody can really use it. Yeah, boys already know the class setup here. So number one, meta, 100% best AR right now to use. But that doesn't mean that these other ARs are out of the picture. You know what I mean? Like the C58. C58 is next. By the way, this isn't in any particular order. By the way, it's just the best ones for long range. Now the C58 has better damage profiles than the FARA, but the only bad thing about the C58 is that it does have a lot of recoil and it is harder to control. So you know, you kind of switch it out. You lose fire rate and recoil for that more damage. Now this gun is more popular for keyboard and mouse players because it is a little bit easier to control this recoil on keyboard and mouse. Us controller players, I personally don't really like running this gun. Yes, it hits really hard. It has, I think, the best damage in the game, but it just has a lot of recoil. You know what I mean? I can't really control it that well. It bounces all over the place. So if you can control recoil, then the C58 is for you, bro. Now the next gun, it is the PreKM. PreKM is super low recoil, kind of like the FARA. Very similar to the FARA. Great damage profiles, also range profiles. Yeah, boys know that this is basically the same type of class setup for every AR, really. It reminds me of a Kilo, super low low recoil, and it does hit pretty good. I think it's a little bit underslept. The Craig is a little bit underused right now in season 4, but it is a very good option. Now next, the AK-47 kind of reminds me of the C58. It has like almost the same exact damage profiles as the C58. Just the only bad thing is, again, that recoil is very hard to control. This is the class setup. Like I said, same type of class format. It's very hard to control. You know what I'm saying? Now I actually do like running the AK a little bit more than the C58. I feel like it has a tiny bit less recoil, but you know, they both have a lot of recoil. So like I said, better for keyboard and mouse players and better for people that can actually control these you know, these crazy more greater recoils. Now the next gun, you might be surprised for me putting this on the list. It is the Ram 7. Now the Ram 7 is the only Modern Warfare gun in this list. Now the reason I put the Ram here is because it kills actually very quick. But the only thing, it does have recoil, but I feel like we could control it because it's not as bad as like an AK where it bounces all over the place. It just has a weird recoil pattern because most guns go up to the right, but this one goes up to the left. So in order to control it, all you have to do is just pull down and pull right instead of pulling left. So that's the way to control the Ram. But the thing that I do with the Ram is that I mount up, and for some reason this gun is the best gun in the game, in the whole game. When you mount up, it is a complete laser, bro. Like 70% of its recoil gets reduced when you mount with this gun, bro. It absolutely fries out. My OG favorite AR in Warzone, as if y'all boys know me last year, bro, this is all I use every day. I absolutely love the Ram, you know, especially when you mount up, bro, because it is a laser. Now the next thing, I did put this, bro. Yeah, might give me some flame for it, but I put the Milano in here. Now I put the Milano long range class. I don't know if you should run agency or sound suppressor. Jay God did recommend to run the sound suppressor. I kind of think it's better to run the agency since you do get a little bit more damage range, but you get more bullet velocity with the sound suppressor. So you know, it's a little bit weird. You pick and choose which one you think is better, and with agency it also helps out with recoil. So that's why I think the agency is a little bit more better in this situation. This is the class setup for a Ranger, not the Task Force, actually the Ranger, because you want to get more bullet velocity since it is an SMG. Now the thing about the Milano, it actually has really good range after the buff in season 4, that it actually competes with ARs. I know some of y'all might be like, yo, I'm not running that. You don't have to run it, but I want y'all boys to try it. Field Agent 55 3 times on an SMG. It actually hits, bro. It actually hits. I don't mind running it. I really don't mind running it. It actually does pretty decent. It's not gonna beat like a FAR 83. Let's be honest here. It's not gonna be a FAR 83, but it actually competes with like a, let's say, with a Krig. It competes with a Krig. It competes with those ARs. You know, it's actually a little bit up there. So it's an interesting loadout to run. It is actually pretty good. You know what I mean? It competes. Now the next is I have the XM4. Now the XM4, I feel like it's still a little bit slept on, just because it did get a buff to its recoil. It got an adjustment, so they made the recoil easier to control. Now people are running this either as a SMG like I do, or a AR. Most people are running it as SMG, but running it as an AR, it actually has way less recoil now. It does have a little bit more recoil than, let's say, like the Krig, but it has actually really good damage profiles. The damage profiles on this is actually insane. I think it's the third best, right next to the AK, and then under will be the FAR, and then the Krig. So this right now, you know, I'm kind of like letting y'all boys know how the damage profile is a little bit. I'm trying my best. I don't have the stats here, but I know that they are pretty similar in terms of TTK wise. Now the TTK on this XM4 is actually really good. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's the third best in the game. So it is pretty decent to run right now. It just has a little bit more recoil, but not insane much recoil like the AK. You know what I'm saying? Now the last two things that I put on this is not necessarily the PKM, but LMGs and the sniper section. Now LMGs, the only LMG that I recommend y'all boys using is the PKM from Modern Warfare, and the Stoner from Cold War. Now the MG82 at the beginning of season 4 was meta, but it got nerfed to the ground. It has a lot of recoil now, and it's not really as good as it used to be. So I recommend the Stoner. Now, as y'all boys know, I don't really use the Stoner, but some people do fry out. Depending on your play style, if you play more laid back, conservative, then you'll probably like LMGs. You know what I mean? Especially if y'all boys never tried LMGs. I actually rock with the PKM because it has very good TTK. I don't know if it's the best. I think it's the second best TTK wise in the LMG section. The first one would be the MG, but the only thing about the MG is does have a lot of recoil. The MG does have a lot of recoil, so that's why I didn't put it in the list. But the PKM doesn't have that much recoil, y'all, and you could actually make this where it has very little recoil. You could put like the T-pose, and you know, boom, this is the loadout that I rock with. I actually used to run this before season 4 came out, and I used to fry out with it, bro. So I do recommend y'all boys trying out the PreKM. The only thing bad about it is that you reload insanely slow, but hey, if you're gonna be playing conservative and playing buildings, top buildings, stuff like that, you wouldn't really mind that. So it all depends on the player. I personally don't like running LMGs as much, but when I did, I'll use the PKM. Now the sniper, as y'all boys know, Kar 98, best sniper right now in the game still. I was using it yesterday. I was having a nice feel for it. Also the Swiss K, also a great sniper. It's a sniper, you know, the best snipers in the game right now, Swiss K and the Kar 98, one shot headshot. I personally prefer the Kar 98 better. It's a little bit just easier to use, more used to it and stuff like that. So I'll recommend the Kar 98 if you're gonna go sniping wise. If not, try out the Swiss. I've seen some people that like to run the Tundra, or you know, the OG HDR, but those are a little bit more slower. The Kar 98 has like the fastest. This is a marksman rifle and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically all it for my long range metas. My personal go-to is still the FAR. It's just easiest to use, super low recoil. You know what I mean? That's why it's still meta right now. You know what I mean? So let me know what y'all boys think about my class setups for long range in Warzone season 4. Thank y'all boys for watching this video. I appreciate y'all boys, man. Hope y'all boys have a wonderful day, and I'm out of here, bro.